to our show and welcome everybody. And this is our 14th episode of Kapi Pause session and Ittifaq series. And today we have Monica Naidu as a guest speaker. She's a student of medicine. That's what she calls herself. And she's in the final year of MBBS. And she's studying in AIMS Bhubaneswar. And I like her Instagram description about her. That's why I'm not going to give you a very a para about her. What she's written over there is that she writes stuff, right? She makes silly videos and also takes pictures. So it's briefly put everything in a very beautiful caption actually. So she's fun to be with. And I met Monica in one of the treks, which is Buran Ghati. We did it together with India Hikes. She came along with two of her friends, Deepankan and PD, and I had a great time with all the three of them, and they were all medicine students. I never thought they were medicine students could be so much fun to be with. And Monica happened to be my roommate as well, and I liked her the way she was. Basically, she was enjoying the trek in the nature, and she was also enjoying the music. She was writing, she was talking about a lot of information about medical field as well. So I had a great time. So I thought that she has information about everything. She's a well-rounded personality whom you should interact with whenever you get a chance to meet with her. And she keeps doing those interesting vlogs as well on her fellow students and all those things. And that's a fun to watch as well. Her Instagram stories and posts are really fun to watch, basically. So yeah, that's one of the reason I wanted Monica to come on the show. I never had anybody coming from a medicine field to talk about any topic to the youngsters. So that's why I thought, welcome again, Monica. You
Thank
could
you.
say hi to viewers as well. So yeah. So give a brief. Okay, you tell about yourself now. At least you can give a brief description.
Okay, that's the toughest thing. Like, what should I say about myself? You told everything and more. I don't think I justify all the things which you said, but yeah, so exactly what you said, maybe.
So yeah. So tell me that how did you fall in love with medicine?
Huh? I'm sorry,
How
I
did you
couldn't
fall
hear
into
you.
the profession of medicine, basically? Yeah. Why did you want to become a doctor?
Okay, like I obviously didn't decide to be a doctor immediately when I started. Obviously,
Hmm.
nobody will. So there was this in ninth grade. There was this medical camp kind of stuff. It was called Young Doctors Camp. It was
Hmm.
conducted in Yashoda Hospital. So my mom wanted me to apply for it. I was
Hmm.
good at writing essays. I was good at writing poems and stuff.
Hmm.
So my
Hmm.
mom just asked me, "Ki, why don't you just write an essay? Why you would be a good doctor? Like if you were a doctor, how would you be?" So then I wrote this 1,000 words essay on why I want to know how it, feels to be a doctor. And then I submitted the essay, and like few students from the city got selected for that, and all of us attended that young doctors camp. So through
Hmm.
the camp, they showed us actually how it was to, follow doctors. We were following them. We were seeing them interact with patients, and I saw like very very cool stuff, like very cool machinery which is used in the hospitals. So overall, I felt like this is what I want to be doing. It's very interesting. Like there's new things coming up every day, and
Hmm.
it's like once, and there are like so many diseases, so you can never get bored of learning something, I guess. And then at the end of the day, like we were talking to the doctors in this very chill session, and one of them was asked if, like, do you want to still be a doctor after seeing us struggle the entire day, like not
Hmm.
eating, skipping our meals, and we're still struggling, we're not home, it's 9 p.m. So do you still want to have this kind of a lifestyle? But then the doctor, I remember, he told us ki whatever happens, the satisfaction I get after doing my work at the end of the day, that's the thing
Hmm.
that keeps me going. And then
Hmm.
that kind of stuck with me, and yeah,
Hmm.
so I tried, I attempted, and then I got here. So I that's why I wanted to be a doctor. That's how it started.
So you are full of life. That's what I keep saying about you. And what's your life mantra?
Like I don't have a particular life mantra as well, like as such, but yeah, it's like uh, whatever happens in your life at this particular point of time, is what you should actually concentrate about. And whatever has happened or whatever is going to happen is like you have very little control over it. So what I try to do is just stay and take in the moment as it is, and not worry too much about the past or the future. But
Live in the moment.
yeah, mostly.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do basically. So it keeps you away from all the worries.
And they're always there, but you can also just concentrate to think about the little happinesses around you when you're
Yeah.
just there. So yeah,
So
that.
you from Hyderabad. So how was your growing up years, and what's your favorite childhood memory?
Uh, Growing up in Hyderabad, initially, I don't remember, like, we were living in a very small part of the town, which I have no
Hmm.
memory of. Then
Hmm.
we shifted to the quarters. Like, my mom used to work in ESIC hospital as a nurse.
Hmm.
So we shifted there. And I have, like, very amazing and also some bitter memories of that place as a child,
Hmm.
like, living in a community with so many people around to share so many things. It was more like a joint family. Like, everybody there was so welcoming. There used to be almost 20-30 kids to play, and all
Hmm.
of them used to be almost like a family. So it was a very welcoming and warm environment. And there were also some silly fights, and some, if one person in some family gets affected by some bad, it would affect like the entire community, entire colony in that small area. So growing up, that was the thing. And then soon we shifted. So, like, yeah, soon we shifted to another house where everything was okay, but I missed being in that community for a while.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
schooling as such, I was very happy. Like, I was a very, what do you call, teacher's favorite student. So I got all the
Hmm.
perks of being, I could bunk, I mean, miss some homework and still not get scolded.
Hmm.
I could do a little
Hmm.
mistakes and still be her favorite. So I, like, my teachers, they used to like me a lot. I don't know why, but it was all very, very good. Like, they inspired me, they helped me do so many things. Like, when I was small, I had interest in, like, various things, and I
Hmm.
used to just jump from one to the other. And
Hmm.
my teachers discouraged me ki, no, you are in this club, so you should only do this. Like, if
Hmm.
suppose you are from the drama club, you should only do dramatics.
Drama.
They never
Drama.
stopped me from venturing into other things. Like, even when I was not in the singing club, they used to easily, when I say ki I want to participate in this show, I want to go sing, they used to easily, like, welcome me. And I used to do a lot of things. I used to
Hmm.
do a lot of things, and now that I think about it, it was because they let me do all of those things. And
Hmm.
so that way I learned to learn new things again and again, many things.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was it.
I've seen that you keeps exploring new stuff, basically, whether it's small or new, anything which you love doing that basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how
Like,
come you started trekking? So what made you go for trekking basically?
oh, that's an interesting story. So one day, like, I have no idea what trekking was. I
Hmm.
never really thought about it. Like, and one day, me and BD, so both of us, we went to some place for breakfast, I think. And on the way, while we were coming back, he just told me, "Ki, I'm going to this trek in the Himalayas," and I'm like, "What? Trek Himalayas?" I mean, those two words were like, I didn't know ki it was
Hmm.
possible for a common person to do that. I mean, I know
Hmm.
you have been to a lot of treks and you're like super experienced, but for me, it was something very new. And then immediately he asked me if I wanted to join him. So I came back and I did some research on how this happens and how people go
Hmm.
on treks. And then I found out about India hikes. And yeah, after going through everything, I'm like, wow, if this is something I can do, I must do it
Hmm.
now. So I told
Hmm.
BD, yes, I'm in. And then Devankan and another person, our senior Beulah boss, she was also supposed to come with us, but she didn't.
Hmm.
So three
Hmm.
of us finally decided ki we'll go. Before the trek, I had really no idea how it would be. The only thing I was like, I hope I come back alone. I hope I come back alive. I hope I come back safe. These were the two things that were on my mind. But I totally, disregarded the fact that there were so many things that could go right initially. Like, the first, after immediately paying everything, I had these second thoughts. What if everything goes wrong? I mean, I didn't even completely tell my parents that I was going on a trip. So I was kind of skeptical about it. But then it was totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Himalayan treks are absolutely amazing. So yeah, so you remember the time we spent in Shimla as well after the trek. That was also a very different experience. So after being in Himalayas, you don't feel like being there in the hill station. It feels like another city. So
Yes.
crowded because hill station feels so crowded
I,
basically. Yeah. I remember the last meal we all had together, that butter chicken or something, right? Some restaurant we had gone. You, me, Devankan, and August. I think yeah, Augustine was
yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, all
Like
of us were there together.
that night when you guys, like, when we went back to the hotel, all of you guys went to this some microbrewery or something. I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
And we made
I
Devankan sing also some songs. Also,
oh,
he was singing the song. Even Abhi was there with us.
oh, okay.
Abhi, you remember Abhishek from Pune? Yeah.
Yeah. That night
He
I
was.
wasn't there. I wasn't
Yeah,
there
you were
at the.
not there at the meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was. Like, that's one thing I regret. Ki, okay, I should have gone. I should have had that last drink with these guys. That's one thing I regret.
Yeah.
But okay.
So that's you will get another chance to do that, to celebrate something special.
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's come back to the top. We plan to discuss this topic called physical health and mental health. So I just wanted to ask you also, what is the importance of it? What do you feel about it? Like what youngsters should be aware of?
I think mostly whenever you talk to a student as such, they are
Mm.
always almost entirely concerned about their studies most of the time.
Yes.
Like, you
Yeah.
ask them, what are you up to? Either they have
Mm.
exams, or they are preparing for exams, or they have, they're gotten over with exams and they're celebrating the result of the exams. So it's very sad that our lives are revolved around just education. Like, I'm not saying it's not important, but there are also other things which we need to, implement in our lives, like especially about our physical health and mental health. First,
Mm.
physical health wise, we try, like most of us in a medical college, I know ki we start going for morning walks. We think ki we should go to the gym every single day. We
Mm.
plan, but we, whenever it comes to exams and exercise, we
Mm.
definitely chodo, let's start up after exams. But the thing is,
Mm.
those exams, they don't end. They just keep coming and coming and
Mm.
coming. And
Mm.
I, but I think it's very, very important that in a day or in a week, you dedicate certain amount of time for doing physical activity, because, like, as we are seeing in our country and also globally, everything is now shifting. Like, initially, people used to suffer from infections, from things like, polio, or, all the infections, smallpox, everything was infectious. But right
Mm.
now, the spectrum is shifting towards diabetes, hypertension, all the non-communicable diseases, which you can actually reduce by taking care of your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Most, like, if you are,
Mostly lifestyle diseases. Yeah.
yeah, like, if you're not following a proper lifestyle, is when you end up with things like this, other than many other causes. But mostly lifestyle is under our control. So,
Mm.
and it's not possible ki magically at 30 or 35 you'll just start working, start being healthy, start exercising. I think all that should start from very early in your adulthood. Like, from a very early point, you should start focusing on your health. You should start working out. And,
Mm.
both physical health and mental health, they go hand in hand. Like,
Mm.
you feel good when you go for a run. You feel productive when you just have a routine of going to the gym every day. You feel good. That makes you
Mm.
feel good. Saying that, it's also important ki you give you give that time to realizing what you're going through. You have to, sit with yourself and give yourself time to understand what you're going through. And if you're not okay, like if you're not okay, if you really think ki whatever you do, it doesn't help you, then there's always help. Like that's one thing people should understand ki everything that's happening in your life, you don't have to go through it alone. Like,
Hmm.
you know, if you're feeling sad or anxious or anything, you have help. You can go to a professional, you can talk to your friends. Like mostly I would suggest you go to a professional, because as a student I know ki all my friends must be going through the same thing that I am going through. So it's more
Hmm.
like I can't totally be dependent on the people around me to make myself happy. I
Hmm.
need to, if I really, really have a problem, I need to go consult someone who's professionally capable of helping me.
Hmm.
And youngsters these days, we need to kind of, you know, develop that habit of understanding our mental health, understanding our physical health, what our body needs, what our mind needs, and we should be, you know, brave enough to pursue it. And I think it's basic that we prioritize it. We should
Hmm.
not let others tell us ki bro, you're not taking care of your health, ki bro, you need to, you know, go see a therapist, you need to, you know, you don't need to, you know, let others tell you ki you are not taking care of your health. That's
So do
happening,
you,
just you're
yeah,
not
because it's a virtual.
prioritizing it.
Yeah, yeah. So now it's a virtual, more of a virtual world because of COVID and all. We do not that interpersonal relationship is all going away right now because of everybody's connected through virtual world. I mean, just on a phone call, also the person can say something, the other person can feel bad. It also impacts
Yes.
people's health as well, and probably anxiety. And also when they start comparing with other people, there's a FOMO which is there, fear of missing out, basically. So how do these youngsters deal with all those stuff when they competing, doing certain stuff which they are not doing? So how do they come out of it?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the last sentence.
So what I'm saying is comparison results in FOMO. So how can a youngster be vigilant about that and not compare themselves with others so that it's okay, you're not missing out anything.
Yeah.
The
So
journey is
like,
your journey. Yeah.
hmm, I think in uh, because this is all happening because since childhood we've been taught, like they've been teaching us to compete. You know, whenever,
Conditioning.
yeah, since beginning of times we've been taught to compete, be it a
Hmm.
race or be it school, first rank, second rank, third rank, and even
Hmm.
when you come to college, even when you are
Hmm.
preparing for your entrances, it's all about competition. It's all about who's the best. How
Hmm.
can you know, get to the top? That's what
Hmm.
they've been teaching us. But slowly we keep forgetting that whatever, how much ever, you know, you go and ask a person who's always getting first, he doesn't know anything about, you know, anything else. Like when once you start getting to be on the top,
Hmm.
it's really, really like it gets lonely. Like they say, it gets
Hmm.
lonely at the top.
Hmm.
But when you talk about the other people everywhere, like everybody's
Hmm.
struggling to get there. And I think
Hmm.
that's the conditioning we have, which makes us, you know, compare and always try to be better, better, better. But what
Hmm.
in reality, it's like, it's not possible. It's not possible for
Hmm.
you to be better than everybody else around you. Everybody has their own
Absolutely.
ups, everybody has their own, you know, drawbacks. Sometimes you're good at something, you're not good at something else, or you're, you know, average at everything else. But it shouldn't matter as
Hmm.
long as you know, enjoy doing what.
Absolutely.
Somebody can sing, somebody can write better than you, but if you're, you know, enjoying the process, if you're, you know, extracting something from it, if you're learning something from it, that should be enough. And people, you know, they think he, like usually we get jealous of other people's lives, of how easy they have it, or how grand they have it, how, you know, tend to get jealous. But I think we should try to, you know, convert that into something positive. Like maybe if you're jealous of someone for, you know, singing so well, keep practicing. If you're jealous of someone for, you know, writing, you keep reading more, keep improving your writing. Just make it into something positive. Like try to harness that negative energy into improving yourself, doing something which will make you feel better. At the end of the
Hmm.
day, at the end of the day, when you start comparing, the only thing you need to be is better than you were yesterday. Like,
Yesterday.
yeah, so it's it's not, I can't say you suddenly forget everything and stop
नहीं होता
comparing.
है.
It won't happen, but slowly you get to, you know, understand ki yes, this person is capable of so and so, I am capable of so and both are equally good, both are equally beautiful, and whatever you do, it's in the end it should give you satisfaction, it should make you
Absolutely.
happy. That's it. Like nobody else should.
It doesn't
It's
matter what other things doesn't matter. So there's
concern.
something called JOMO, okay, joy of missing out. So what I tell youngsters is don't worry about fear of missing out something, but you should not miss the joy in it. So
Yeah,
joy
yeah,
is
yeah.
more important basically. JOMO is very important. So enjoy the process basically. So for example, if I share my lifestyle also, I used to be working for 15, 16 hours and I was just in the rat race basically. And then when I came out and I started traveling, and I did around almost 21 treks, one after the other, because I had missed out on so many treks earlier. So I just thought that if I had started at this particular age doing trekking, then by this age I would have completed 10 or one trek each year. I would have completed so many. So I did all the treks together. But once I came back, I realized that it's that I was living in like life extremes. So better that whatever I love to do, I should start doing it. So that's why I do whatever makes my heart flutter. I do all those things basically. So I may not be good at any of those things, but I enjoy the process, enjoy doing it, so I do it. Not to become perfect at
Yeah.
anything, but yeah, so that's what it should be basically. But with time only you realize it. When I was growing up, it was not like that because you're conditioned to do something in a certain way. You become perfectionist, you want to become independent, but sometimes you become obsessed with independence also. So I saw Chandu also joining our, I mean, this show. So you remember Chandu from the Trek?
Yes, 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 I do.
So he's the
Yes.
one who clicked the picture of my book, the cover, book cover, the front cover. Was the one who's taken the picture. I didn't know he's taken the picture, and I was thinking that, oh, that picture kisne li? Is it from Rupin Pass? Is it from Buran Ghati? Because it's also snow, and I always have that pink bag. Then later on, I got to know that it was taken by Chandu and Chand. So that's why it was a surprise for him also that the picture clicked by him by using my phone became the cover a book cover for my book as well. So yeah, that trek was also beautiful, right? To meet so many youngsters basically. To get to know them was very, very good for me as well because I always thought that यार वो youngsters के साथ बनेगी कि नहीं बनेगी, you never know. But with you guys, I was able to gel up really well because you didn't treat me like that. That कोई बड़ी कोई grown up बंदी आ गई हमारे साथ. You didn't treat me like that. You were just
Rita, you were
like a
amazing. You were amazing on the track, okay, and you are still amazing. Like I told you right that when I heard ki you and Sugandha would be my tent mates, I was like, oh my god, two old people. What am I going to do with them? What will I talk about? The music taste is going to be different. The movies are going to be different. What am I even supposed to do? Why am I stuck here? That was my initial feeling. I'm sorry, but later on when we started, you know, sharing about our stories, our life, about it was so inspiring. It was so inspiring to know about you and how you went on so many treks despite having so many problems. And each and every trek you documented so well. And you were telling us that you were taking so many pictures to show a friend. And it was amazing.
yes.
It was just so. I'm actually very, very happy to get to know you. It was amazing. I was so inspired by your story, how you just want to do what you want at, like, despite the age, despite the time, despite whatever, like, you know, you just went all through to get, you know, do all the adventures you wanted to do and pursue them all. So that's something I'll always remember.
So
Thank you
I'll
so
tell
much.
you that start early. I did really late. So I almost spending 15, 16 years in corporate, I realized that my father used to tell me, experience life. I was just, no. First, I want to be done with my financial stuff, and then only I will look into the other aspects of life and all. But that's not life. Life just happens. And when you're, and it's not materialistic things which you should focus on. It's the experience of whatever you're doing, basically. The journey matters, right? The destination is important, but journey matters, and also the company also matters.
Yeah.
So yeah,
True.
I told you about Nimitam, right? This show is part of Nimitam. So Nimitam is aimed at imparting life skill education to youngsters. So according to you, are life skills important, and which one of the life skill according to you is important as well?
Hello.
Can you hear
We
me?
couldn't hear the last
So
sentence. Life skills.
yeah.
What were you
So what
saying?
I was asking is which life skill according to you is important?
I think life skills as such are like obviously very quintessential part of how we deal with everyday life.
Hmm.
And when if you ask me how what is more important, I can't really pick one out. But I feel what lacks in these days of when texting and all this has come, people mostly don't know the art of communicating with each other in person, getting those
Hmm.
non-verbal cues
Hmm.
uh, when you're talking to someone and you clearly know कि they're disinterested or they're not
Hmm.
getting it, and then you
Hmm.
should know कि okay, I'm like, you need to understand that situation, you need to understand those cues which they're not like that I think is important life skill, where nowadays it's I feel we're not that well versed in it, where we are mostly stuck with emails, with writing, with texting, and phone calls also. It's not it's not that easy to get those verbal cues. So I think communication is one thing which is very important life skill, which
Hmm.
everybody should work towards improving, because in the
Hmm.
end it's how you connect with people, it is how you get to know people and get to know many opportunities through that.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing we should constantly work on improving.
That's the आजकल तो voice messages, chats. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Nobody. Even I don't have a patience to type. Basically, I prefer phone picking up the phone and speaking. But it's typing is such a pain for me. I don't know. I'm from a very old school. Maybe that's the reason I can't type. I've seen people texting fatafat fatafat and it's done. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably it's something I should learn as well. It might be useful, but yeah, communication, that personal touch is very important. When you speak to the other person, you get to know what they're feeling, and everything takes time.
Hmm.
आज की
And
आज का जमाना, it's like fast delivery, right? Everything is very fast,
yes,
quick.
yes,
You
yes.
make impulsive decisions and stuff like that. It's become and people do not have patience to listen to somebody as well, जैसे कहते हैं. So
Listening is
you would,
something which people
yeah,
should like. The art of listening is so gone. Everybody wants to get the exact answer, get the right thing which they want to hear, and then just end the conversation. Nobody is patient enough to actually sit, listen to what the person is trying to say, actually understand what it is. But yeah, listening is
attention span nahi hai, Monica. Nobody has that attention span more than 2 seconds or 5 seconds. You look at your Insta reels, 30 seconds. That's
yeah,
what they
yeah.
capture in mind. Nobody has this time. So when somebody in 2 minutes or 1 minute, then it's done. Otherwise, they don't have that much of time to go through it and sit with you, understand this. I think it's changing now.
Yes.
So next thing I want to know about your hobby. So I know you write as well. So do you write for your college magazines and stuff like that, poems and all?
I like sometimes when we have our newsletters, our yearly newsletters, I submit some poems, submit something in
Hmm.
writing. But mostly I write for myself. Like I write
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, I know ki if one person can understand me as much as I want them to, it is myself. So when I
Hmm.
just sit and write down whatever thoughts are going through my head, it feels,
Hmm.
like a relief. Like, okay, I've
Yes.
got all these thoughts on paper and now my brain is free to, rest. It's like that.
Hmm.
So I find it very peaceful. I find it very therapeutic. And while I am not so good at communicating everything I think of, like everything I want to say, I'm not that good at telling everything. But when I write something, and the most important thing I get, from writing is when somebody tells me ki, dude, when you wrote this, it made me happy. And I read this
Hmm.
point, I could relate to this sentence. that is exactly what I was going through, but I was not able to, say it out. And you said it out so beautifully. And when people say something like that, I feel really good. I feel really, really good that I'm helping them out say things which they thought they couldn't say. So that encourages me to write, and that gives me a lot of happiness and a lot of, I feel satisfied. I feel really good.
What about pictures and all? You take a lot of photographs as well and do vlogging as well. So how tell us about that hobby as well.
Photography was, I think, started very early in my life, around sixth, seventh grade. I used to take my, father's phone and just go out randomly, take pictures. I never knew I was good at them. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm very good at them, but I didn't know I could take decent pictures, because that time I used to just take normal pictures around the house and show it to my mom, show it to my dad, and they never seemed to, encourage or appreciate any of it. But once in my 10th grade, uh, actually in my ninth grade, I started taking guitar lessons, and I met this guy from guitar class. So soon I started sharing some pictures which I used to click with him, and he told me that they were really good and that I should start a page and post my pictures. And I'm like, dude, what are you saying? It's not that great. It's okay. It's just shitty mobile photography. So it's not that, nothing, it's not khas kuch nahi hai. But then at 12th grade, I finally decided when I came to college ki yes, I should have something of my own. And I started this page. This could be anything, especially for the pictures. So yeah, and once I started the page, I realized ki I actually enjoyed the editing part of taking pictures. So pictures are like, once you see, you get a perspective, you take a picture, and then the post editing thing, the editing part. So I realized ki I enjoyed doing both of them. So since then, whenever I find something I really, appreciate, which I want everybody to see. Though I can't capture most of them, I try my best to, capture whatever I can. It just, it just makes me very happy ki I could capture that moment. Like, that this something
Yes.
amazing happening. I was lucky enough to be there at the right time, and I'm actually able to capture it. So that's how I
So,
started taking pictures.
so pictures tells you a
Yeah.
story as well. Like each photograph has a story. So when you look at the photograph, you do not know what went behind it. Basically, by clicking it, what is the background to it, and then memories it brings back. So when I was writing the books, I was lucky that I clicked so many pictures because of my friend, and I was able to write also because whenever I used to refer to those pictures, those memories used to come back. So yeah, you're right in saying that. And what about vlogging and all? So you keep roaming around your your fellow students and all, take their videos and all, and how it's fun to watch. So how is it going now? Do you do it now as well?
Yeah.
So
So vlogging, uh, vlogging I started because suddenly it hit me कि this is going to be the last year of my student life. I mean, I'm going to be a student all through my life, but now it's like a proper student where I have no responsibility towards my patients. I don't have to, I don't have to see patients. I'm not responsible for their thing. But once I finish this and once I'm an intern, I'll have so much responsibility, and matlab, itna carefree life is not going to be there. So when this hit me, I realized ki, arey, last few months of college, I must document them. That was my initial thought before blogging. And the reason I started blogging is because it it made me happy. I used to make videos earlier. I used to make some edits, and I whenever I looked at them, it just transferred me to that moment, and I used to feel so happy. Ki I used to enjoy. Ki see, my past life used to inspire me to do better in the future. So those moments which I captured, I always wanted to remember them. And the blogs I started most, and when I started making blogs, I was very much encouraged because everybody else started liking them too. People used to come and tell me, dude, this part was so funny. I liked when you did this, when this was good. So yeah, most of the times in med school, it's very hard. You're especially when you're staying in a hostel, you're away from your parents, you're away from your home.
Family.
So And most of the time here, everybody is going through this. Everybody is going through some shit, like everybody. So when you're alone in your room, when I used to be alone in my room a lot of the time, and I had nothing to do. So that's how I started, learning Premiere Pro. I started working. I mean, I started seeing how the editing stuff works. I started doing so many things. And once I started, recording stuff, I realized I could actually make them better. I could edit and make them into a nice vlog, which people might enjoy. And even then, when I get sad or when I have this low mood for a while, I just sit. I go through my own videos, my own vlogs, and they make me so happy. They make me so happy. Ki the small things which I captured. Maybe somebody in the posting just standing and sleeping, or somebody's trying to look at an X-ray and try to figure out what it is.
What
It's
it is all
very,
about, yeah.
yeah, it's funny, and look at how far we've been coming. So the same thing you ask the person is able to answer. So it's like documenting growth, documenting progress, documenting everything, and it makes me feel really, really good. So that's how.
So how was yeah, so that's a good thing. Any other hobbies as well, like travel, trekking, so many things like writing. Now you're making videos as well. Any other hobbies which I've left out or discussing or anything?
I don't know. Like I think that's pretty much it. I'm like
You
I'm
dance,
not
you
sure.
dance as well, right? Dance as well and sing as well. That's also there.
That, that's more like something I do to relax, or something I do for fun. Like when I see my friends and they're all doing reels, so I also want to do some kind of a reel. So I'm like, okay, let's learn this dance. Let's do something. It's more of a let's do something instant. Like so that's
So how
how.
was the COVID time for you, the pandemic time? So it must be tough for you guys in med schools as well. The
COVID during the first wave, we were all sent back home. So my father had suffered like from COVID during the first, and it was very, very like very, very bad. Initially, it was during July, and it was at the first peak. We had like very less information about this virus and very less information about the symptoms, the cure, everything. And it was very scary at that time because we didn't know how to take care of him. We didn't know what to do when. Those were very, very, very scary times. But immediately after COVID first wave, we were called back to the hostel. Like we were called back. We had our exams, third year exams offline, which most of us were not prepared for. Like all of us thought it will be online, and we had almost 6 months of classes. So none of us expected. It was very, very, very stressful to suddenly shift to the offline mode of education again. And I think those were the toughest days of my life, where we were trying to adjust back, staying 6 months at home and then adjusting back to the
offline
people
stuff.
here. Back. That was very, very that was very difficult. On top of that, the stress of exams. So that was really, really bad. But after that, initially we felt lucky. Okay, at least we are out in the campus, so we have people to interact with. We have things to do. We have games to play. We can go for a run. It was good. It felt good. And, after the second wave, then we were again back home for the second wave. After this,
Okay.
we were called back again. I remember initially when we were called back after the second wave, and we had our postings, hospital mein. We had our postings, and everybody was so like kind of very like very terrified. All of us wearing N95s, gloves. We like most of us were not even interacting with patients that much, but the fear was very real because our teachers were getting tested positive. People we like our classmates were getting tested positive. One by one, all of them were getting isolated. So there was like among the youngsters, the virus was not that dangerous, but still
This, yeah.
fear. Yeah, we had this fear
Yeah.
that something could go wrong. One of my friends, he was simply like he got COVID, and he had no comorbidities or anything, and it got serious and he was admitted. And I remember all of us were like super scared during that time. He like we were hoping he'll get well soon, but that was a very, yeah, very scary times. But right now I think everybody is more scared again about the exams coming, the final.
Yeah, so your
So
exams are also coming. So
yeah.
how do you bounce back from the time when you feel low and all in life?
Oof. That is one thing I'm still working on because it's not easy at all. And especially like when you have a reason why you're sad, then maybe you can, do something about it. Maybe you can work towards it. But when you don't know why, like when you don't know what's keeping you low, that is one of the hardest things to come out of. I somehow find hope in something, some small thing. I think, okay, I want to do this, and if I am lying like this, I won't be able to do that. And to be honest, I just give in most of the times. I just like if I'm feeling sad, I don't want to do anything. I'm like, okay, fine, I won't do anything. I'll just listen to my body. I'll just sleep it off. I'll just rest because I don't want to put so much pressure on myself to be happy all the time. It's fine. It's fine if I'm sad. It's okay. I don't want to push myself to be something I'm not. If I'm sad, then fine. I'll be sad. I'll be sad for a while. It's okay. Yeah, it's not. I don't want to, compress that side of me. If it's happening, let it happen. But slowly, what I realized is the more you try to hide it, the more you try to not express your sadness, not express your anger or whatever, it just keeps growing. It just keeps getting worse and worse, and you get anxious. You can't handle anything else. So when
Yeah.
you're sad, be sad. It's fine. Soon the tables are going
So
to
now,
change. One thing in life
डांस में
keeps
so
changing.
डांस में किस कहते हैं कि नवरसास बोलते हैं, so 9 rasas basically. So this everything will pass, and this too shall pass कहते हैं ना, so everything will pass by, so it's nothing you have to take tension. अच्छा भी नहीं रुकेगा. You're thinking that something good has happened to you, that moment will also not last for long. Not even the bad things will last for long, so just be with it. Better it is to express everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
we've had a lot of chit chat. Now I'll come back to the fun part of our chat show, that is some questions. Okay, riddles, eh? Some fun questions for you.
Okay.
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 So before we end the show, there's the last element. We keep it for riddles or some fun questions. So the question for you is, what goes up and never comes down?
Okay.
Easy है.
um,
बोलो बोलो क्या है?
what goes up and never comes down?
Comes down.
Ayyo. Okay.
It's age. Okay. It
Okay.
goes up and never comes down.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. True.
What word is pronounced the same if you take away 4 of its 5 letters?
Oh.
ऐसा
Um.
क्या word है जिसमें से if you take out the 4 words, 4 letters as well, it will be pronounced the same way?
You.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Next
Okay.
one is, what begins with T, ends in T, and has T in it?
Ah.
Easy
Okay.
है.
Teapot. Teapot.
Correct answer. Yeah, correct. Next one. Okay, what has 13 hearts but no organs?
13.
Hearts. 13
13
hearts but
heart.
no organs. But no organs.
No organs. Okay. I don't know. I don't
Pack
know.
of cards. Pack of
Oh.
cards.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking something in the towards cards, but.
So next, another one, and another interesting one. You bought me for dinner but never eat me. What am I?
Um.
Guess karo.
The spoon. I don't know.
Cutlery, yes. It's like cutlery. You get it for dinner, but you don't eat it.
Yeah.
So another last one is it's an interesting one. I was not able to answer. Okay, you stare at me, but I don't blush. You switch me off when you are in a rush. What is it?
The tube light, the light,
TV.
TV. Okay, TV.
Okay. So what is so coming coming to the end of the show. So just want to know, what is a message for youngsters?
Message like
क्या बोलना चाहोगे?
I'm not a great person to keep giving messages, but
But still, your fellow students or whatever, a message to your younger self as well. Whatever you want to share with them. Because they'll all be watching. They also want to know कि यार medical student कैसे होते हैं, सब पढ़ाकू होते हैं. So I keep telling whatever people I know कि सारे पढ़ाकू नहीं होते. They also enjoy life. So that's why I wanted you to come on the show and tell them that it's not only academics. The other things also are also part of our life.
definitely, like, for stereotyping medical students, I've been like, everybody does that. Everybody is like, oh, you're
Yeah,
always studying yourself. It's not like that. We always try to study, that's another thing. But what I would like to say is not to, worry too much about always acing or always getting to the top of the class. It's fine. Even if you're, even if you're doing good, it's okay. There's so many things to do other than, studying is not the only way through life. That is like, for education and all, you can study, but don't push yourself too hard to do something which you're not enjoying. And even when you want to study, if you only study, it's not going to help you. You need things to, get your mind clearer to make it better. Like, some kind of hobby, take up some kind of hobby, do some other thing which will, give you more ways to, handle life. It's not just that you'll learn everything about life just by studying. So yeah, that's the
That's
thing. I would want to say everyone to take care of your surroundings, take care of your mental health, take care of the people you are hanging out with, the kind of environment you create for yourself. Like, how that is one thing which is very, very important. Once you realize, like, you don't have to force yourself to be in groups you don't like. If something is giving you this negative energy, if something is, not making you feel welcome, it's better to be by yourself than be in a environment which is pulling you down. You don't need that. You can bring yourself up. And if you're fortunate to find people who can, motivate you, who can help you through some things. But if you're too stuck, just don't be like, it's always okay to leave people. It's always okay to get out of things which are not serving you well. Don't It's very important to let go. That's the point. Like, it's important that you let go of things which don't serve you. Yeah.
Yes,
So
absolutely. I agree with that. So there are a lot of people who've joined. So I think let me check if there are any questions or any comments. Basically, it's no, I can't see any questions. Can you see any questions there? There's so many people.
yeah, I can see some comments, but there are no questions.
Yeah, a lot of people have joined. I can see comments here. So people, yeah, this is what happens when I read your writings. Okay, somebody's commented on your writing. So yeah, yeah. So I think a lot of comments have come in. So yeah, so there are no questions. So that's okay. I normally check for questions as well if they have any questions. I think people love your writing as well. That's what people have said on the show. So hope you continue to inspire everybody around you and be positive. Enjoy your time, your student life, and hope crack your exams well also.
Thanks.
And also, do tell me what specialization you're going to take. I know right now you're still thinking which one to take, but definitely keep me posted. Though I get to know a lot of things from the Insta stories and all those things. Otherwise, also if you need anything, reach out. Thanks for
Yes.
coming on the show, sharing your perspective with our group of people as well. So yeah, definitely people would love to know more about you as well because they always think like doctors हैं तो serious ही होंगे, but ऐसा होता नहीं है.
No,
बिल्कुल नहीं होता. So if I make a trip to Bhubaneswar, definitely I'll catch up with you.
definitely we should.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for calling
Yeah.
me.
Give my regards to Devankan and BDO as well. So you keep meeting them, right? So yeah. Chalo then. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks everyone for joining our show, and we'll catch up next Saturday with another interesting personality. Take care. Bye till then. Enjoy. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye, Smita.
Bye.